So I'm at the grocery store with my son. He's about 3 years old and he's riding in the cart, and I'm looking for whatever shit on the shelves, and all of a sudden I hear this fucking wailing piercing my ears, and I look down and it's my son, and he's holding his finger. He got his finger pinched in the cart, as every kid has done ever since the beginning of time, and he's fucking wailing, and I lift him out of the cart and I'm holding him in my arms and I'm saying, come on, let it out, sweetheart, let it out. It's going to be okay, let it out. And the reason I did that is because before we ever even got married, I said to my wife, if we ever have kids, anytime they ever get hurt, we're going to stop everything we're doing and we're going to hold them and we're going to have them let it all out. And the reason I did that is because of what happens next. So my son is fucking wailing, he's wailing, but eventually as he's letting it out and people are walking by looking at me and shit like that, you feel somewhat embarrassed and all this, he goes from wailing to sobbing, and he goes from sobbing eventually down to crying, and then he goes from crying down to whimpering, and then eventually he goes down after I'm saying, come on, let it out, let it out. He goes from whimpering down to sniffling, and eventually he goes from sniffling to looking around, wiggling out of my arms or trying to. I say, no, come on, keep crying, keep crying. And he looks me in the face and he says, but Papa, I'm done. And he wiggles out of my arms and he goes to try to find a box of Fruit Loops or something like that. That's why we did it. Because when a child is allowed to release stored pain, when a teenager is allowed and encouraged to get their sadness out over, gee, my boyfriend just dumped me, or my girlfriends don't like me anymore, or my buddies, they're pissing me off. If they're not allowed to get it out, to flush it out, it stores in the body. The body stores the pain. You may think when you're in your 20s or your 30s, oh, I'm tough, no big deal, fuck that shit, I don't care about that, and you just power through. But give it until your 40s, give it until your 50s, and all of that stored pain in that vault begins to drag you down into a depression, into a state of forever anxiety, into overthinking. Unhealed pain, unpurged pain will afflict your soul, it'll afflict your clarity, your decision-making, your career choices, and your relationships. So at what point do you go into the pain and flush it out? Because you keep running from it, don't you? Because I don't want to face that shit, right? Too fucking painful. But at some point you realize that the fucking living this way of all this shit going on inside of me and everything going wrong around me, eventually it sucks and you're forced to deal with all that pain you've been stuffing down your whole life. So at what point do you go inside and deal with it so that you can finally say, but Papa, I'm done. Have a kick-ass day.